Hello, everybody. I'm very, very happy to see you all here, and all the more so happy to see a lot of familiar nicknames, so to say. I saw that Byron was running around there somewhere, right? Of course, Atlas Drawers standing shyly there in the back, but I see you, man. But no,
Yeah,
not.
the whole fam is here. We got 50 people in the whole place that you see there. Uh,
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's really dope. And of course, I mean, Breakman has already said his words of thanks, but truly shout out to you guys for putting this together. This looks like so much better than anything and everything that we've had so far. So
oh wow! Well,
great.
thank you very much
No,
for
for
saying
real.
that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
and
It's
in the
great.
past, most people know in the past events we were in the Inverse platform, and
Yeah.
which Inverse had some cool bells and whistles too. But Inverse stopped providing services until further notice. They're restructuring. They might come back, but we couldn't use them again, so we had to find something. And in the future, there may be other platforms, but this is actually a self-serve one, so I was able to add in all the things without code or anything, and so that's what we're dealing with. But I think I like it too. There's a lot of cool things here too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would even go as far as to say that this is a lot cooler and livelier than Web3 Berlin earlier this year,
Yeah,
because that was just sad. Anyway, let's not talk about sad things, right?
yeah.
We're
I'm going to set up a bounty block for the hour, y'all. Which I'm going to do here and try to keep up every hour. But yeah, Olga, if you could tell us, kind of, let's pretend that there's some noobs here that don't know anything about it. Maybe there is. And do like a review of what all Wombat Dungeon is, and also the Wombat platform and the wallet, and because you do multiple things, and
yeah, no, of
and also the
course.
integration with Atomic Hub, which you just bought too. So all exciting.
Yeah, Sedrov says that they don't know anything about Wombat. Well, I will be very, very happy to elaborate, so to say. So, yeah, hello everyone. Name's Olga, as you can see, and we at Wombat are basically very, very greedy people who try to do all of things at once. uh, but, mostly pertaining to gaming, of course. And we figured at one point in all of our careers that just having a gaming focused wallet, which is what Wombat is initially, is not going to cut it. And so we have added a couple of layers to our whole um, you know, suite of entertainment products, one of them being Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master is, in essence, a very, very simple clicker game, but the whole idea behind it is to give additional utility to NFTs from the community's most beloved projects, right? We started on EOS and Wax, then we have extrapolated onto Polygon, right? We're trying to do a couple of cool stuff there. But I am very, very pleased to say that, well, I don't know, there are very few projects that I see here today that do not have utility in Dungeon Master, right? So if you are a passionate collector, if you would also like for your NFTs not to just sit in your wallet, you can send them to Dungeon Master for additional rewards, so to say. Lore wise, Dungeon Master aims to kind of reverse things in the traditional RPG dungeoneering, right? So you're not the one traversing the endless corridors full of dangers and hopefully loot. You are, as the name implies, a dungeon master, and so you're hiding the loot, that being the precious NFTs, and sending out cute little wombat adventurers on their quest to retrieve that and bring it back to you. And you reward them with points. Essentially, those points at the end of each season that typically lasts for 6 weeks, will convert into a reward for you. But don't worry, there are many, many ways for you to reward the wombats specifically. That is a candy for them to run faster. You can also give them awesome equipment, right? And thus reward their efforts this way. And yeah, whatever else. We also have an expansion right now, which is called Dungeon Worlds. It's kind of an early access stage where you can have your Wombat adventures trained. You can assign all sorts of different senseis to them, inspired by, uh, please, Warner Brothers, don't sue us, by Mortal Kombat. Um, and yeah, it's overall, it's always an adventure in the shaping, partially also because the kind of collections that we enable with every season, that depends on players' choice. So if you have some Wombat tokens, for example, you can vote for your favorite collections to be added if they don't have the utility yet. And I feel like I have been talking for too long because I can rave about what we do endlessly. So please, somebody stop me if you
Raving
would
is
like me to
fine.
go into specifics.
We're here for the hour. It's no worries. Rave away. But if anybody wants to pipe up in voice or in chat at any time with a question, go for it. That's what it's about too.
Yeah, I'm already seeing some of the amazing players that we have
Yeah, I see
from
blue mob, yellow mob.
mobs.
So
Yeah, exactly.
tell
That
us,
well, not
tell
as
us
much.
what that's
Hmm?
about. Obviously, clearly you choose a mob, but then what? What did they all do?
Well, that's the thing, right? That's kind of the part that comes outside of the game. Mobs are our community groups, so to say, right? We have three of them on our server whenever we run something fun there, that be in tournaments or contests or whatnot. They don't just happen, Halloween, Christmas, and that's it. We're trying to hold those regularly, so every month at the very least there is something going on. And we have the blue barracudas, we have the yellow bees, and we have red roses, so our colored mobs. Everybody's free to join them. You don't even have to play Dungeon Master specifically to be part of that, right? But it does help because, for example, in the game itself, we have clans, right? And being in a clan with the help of your clanmates, you can shorten the dungeon run times, right? That your Wombat adventurers spend down there. We'll also be adding karma utility, karma, the points that you get for helping your clanmates, to our in-game shop and whatnot, where you can get all sorts of materials required for NFT blends and whatnot. Like, this stuff goes down deep. It cascades to all sorts of utility things that can really enhance your playing experience. So that's our mobs. I am personally not a member of any, right? Because again, cannot play favorites there. But I do recall. I think that was somebody from the Red Mob that gave me a barbarian wombat NFT that was named Olga. Coincidentally, that's cute. That's my spirit animal right there. I just storm in and bash things. Um, Setrov is asking, it's all custodial staking though. Both yes and no. So you are staking the NFTs to the smart contract, so they're like technically transferred from your wallet temporarily, but you can always revoke that and claim them back to your wallet after a 24-hour cooldown. I hope that did answer your question. But generally speaking, we're trying to be like as non-custodial as possible with the game itself and with the wallet. The wallet is fully non-custodial. If you are looking for an uncomplicated way to interact with wax, so to say.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's us.
yeah.
With Wombat.
You have a Wombat wallet. That's right. I think we can go over
Yeah.
that more because it's you hold your keys with it, right? It's not like a cloud wallet, and it and
Yeah, no. To be fair, I feel like with every single new update, we're kind of moving away from the whole wallet notion because right now, we have more games in it, both Web3 and traditional ones, than we have, or probably about the equal amount as we have tokens, right? But yeah, you are correct, Bateman. That's a fully non-custodial wallet. You can sign up with the social logins. You also can explore the functionalities in that in the guest mode. And as I said, we're moving more away from the whole wallet notion, more towards kind of, yeah, a game launcher, I would say. And we also have a few games that you can play for extra rewards.
awesome.
Some of them, yeah, even being here, I think. So I I mean, I don't know why there isn't kind of more of those collaborations done. To be fair, because it's such a simple thought. You know, rewarding people for their time outside of what your game
Hmm.
specifically offers.
Yeah, exactly. So, for most people that are not familiar, and I'm not, I'm a little familiar. I haven't dived in too much myself. There's no time for it, but
Yeah.
but it's mostly known for yeah your staking and also the wallet. The Wombat wallet is really well used too. It also it has your own name, right? You can choose your own wallet name for a wax
Yay.
wallet, so it's not a wham, you know. Also, there's an app that people have said is really good to navigate, uh, which
Why, thank you.
I haven't tried that either, but I heard it numerous times. That it's a very nice interface that works well. And then the staking, yeah. So you're able to stake NFTs from various collections into the Wombat
Exactly.
game, and then it's like a staking game, and you send out your Wombat, and he comes back with rewards, and you choose like when that happens, and there's seasons, and then you can win stuff at the end. But it's really neat because it's a way to provide utility for other collections, and I agree. You're one of the, I mean, others do it, but you're by far the biggest project that lets you stake in their game. I think, uh, and you would
Well, biggest or not, I would say that, how do I put it? We're not trying to discourage anybody to kind of do more of that themselves, right? With what they are doing, and it is heartwarming to see more collaborations in the wax space that aim exactly at this, right? Uplift each other, boost each other's utility and visibility. But what it essentially boils down to now, thanks again to the whole Wombat token holders, you are able to have an impact on kind of what gets the visibility, and
mm,
it's a lot better than, I would say, just the three of us, or like the six of us sitting in the room looking at Atomic Hub and sitting there like, okay, who's going in next?
yeah,
I would say this is the best thing about it, that the community has a direct say and in what goes in and what goes not. True, that may have kind of reduced the amount of collections that we are adding from season to season, because back in the day there was just, screw that, everybody goes in, right? Everyone's in.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
even so, yeah, the fact that the users vote on it, I think that's great. The users should vote because exactly maybe you don't want to let everyone in, so you have a choice of whatever, and then they vote. But to get onto the list, though, you have to apply. So if you are a collection owner and you have not done that, you're not in Wombat, you haven't done anything. then yeah, we suggest applying. Why not? Uh, and then let the community decide on if that's your thing. Or maybe if you're not, if you're very young, maybe you want to wait till you have more things, established collection, whatever. But whenever you're ready, a lot of collections, Consumer Break and NFTOPIA included, we apply. They get on a list with like five others. And then the community will decide if you're going in the next mid-season. And each mid-season is pretty short, right? It's a few weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We're trying to keep it short and sweet. So we for the mid seasons we start the whole process about a week before it ends, right? And then in between seasons themselves, also a week of a break to
there
get
you go.
everything
So there
prepared.
could
But
be
yeah,
a different vote each time, and new collections coming in each time. By the way, I put the batting block in the main chat. So that's an hourly giveaway. We got 2 common pins and 3 Wombat
sweet.
Dungeon ETA promo packs. Thanks to Olga for giving us lots of those. Thank you.
Oh no, no worries, no worries. All good. I just hope that people will find
Yeah.
them useful as well. ETA is our latest kind of, what do you call it, generation of packs, so
Yeah.
to say, right? So ETA promos are still very, very much attractive. And season 13 is going to end rather soon-ish, right? So if you wanna jump in, now is the good time to hustle to get those sweet, sweet rewards around the end of it.
Sweet rewards. What kind of
Sweet, sweet
games
rewards.
can you play in the app? Like
Oh,
different
that's a
types?
good question. Well, I mean, you name it, right? So the favorite Web3 titles for wax folks, I'm assuming that this would be something along the lines of Avalon that we saw there, RadaQuest. RadaQuest yields you extra rewards from us, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, right. If you install it via Wombat and start playing it this way, of course. Um, Anything and everything, basically, even if it's not on the list, we are very good at pretending that we are Anchor or MetaMask. So anything goes, really. And soon we will also have a full Immutable X support across all of our app versions, right? So that's Android, iOS, and desktop. Um, so if you're a fan of Illuvium and anything else as well, you will soon be able to play it via Wombat. As I said, we do have traditional games too, right? So we have more or less casual things that are more in the indie domain, I would say, right? But for the extra rewards, you can also play stuff like Game of Thrones or World of Tanks, or we recently had um, some Dragon something 6. I am terrible with the names, but I am somehow good with very odd details. It's this fantasy dungeon crawler that collaborated with Nickelback for some reason for their launch. So yeah, if you're a fantasy and a Nickelback fan, boom, there you have it. You can play this stuff and get extra rewards from us.
Wow. There you go. Play some games. Any gamers in the house, go get it.
Exactly. And I mean, we're past, I think we're well past the Baldur's Gate fever. Well, half the people probably finished Phantom Liberty already. Alan Wake on PC is unplayable. Robocop possible. So what else is out there really? Just go out and explore if you're feeling to feeling like getting a little bit entertained. But for as I said, as we're trying to move kind of more and more focus on the games, right? If you are more into, how do I put it, traditional wallet experiences, experience where you just get your dApps, your swaps, portfolio management. Wombat is not probably the thing for this. We are a gaming first launcher slash app, however you want to call it, right? And we also want to kind of make the overall experience feeling a bit more exactly like that, like a gaming launcher, right? And this is why we also recently introduced XP and leaderboard. So the plan is first to kind of make you or make it visible for everybody which games are others playing, right? Because you will be able to see their experience and like, oh wow, they really farmed hard. How can I do that? And you can go to those games directly from their history, so to say. And fingers crossed that early next year might also be able to add the social features such as chats and whatnot. And I'm really looking
Oh,
forward to that because yeah, that would be amazing, right? We have we have a lot of folks requesting that for Dungeon Master specifically, right? Not sure what when exactly that's going to happen for in-game, but in the launcher itself, I mean, it makes perfect sense, especially if you're kind of an established clan member, just like Atlas Drawers or BM Ramsey or Puzzled Puzzler. A
nice.
lot of blue mobbers here today.
Yeah, if we see the
Great,
screen, here's a
right?
little bit of the interface. Uh, and yeah, and here's our little wombat, right? So you can equip him with different things. How do those things help you? Basically, more items is
Exactly.
more stuff.
Oof, that's there are tons of them, right? So we also put out a guide for best equipment, right? Depending on, of course, like what your end goal is. But long story short, different item sets or like combinations of things can have a huge impact on various stuff. Like it can be your contribution points mining. Those contribution points convert kind of proportionally to your reward at the end of the season, right? Then you can have XP mining, which means the more you level up, kind of, the more mining power you unlock for your NFTs. Or you can aim towards speed, essentially reducing the dungeon run times. Or you can lean towards mining materials. And those materials can be used to get gold extractors or all sorts of magic potions. We call them wombatiums that you can blend with other things in order to yeah, create better items for your wombat or take them out somewhere else entirely. We also have this sub project called Wombat Realms, which is essentially kind of like a city builder slash manager sim, right? Where you start with practically nothing and your goal is to build a village first. Then it's going to expand into a city, maybe an empire, etc., etc. Right. So it's really just, how do I put it? It really just depends on how you want to interact with our ecosystem. Whenever we have super cool collabs, for example, like we had with one that stands out to me because it was one of the first ones with Byron for colored T-shirts. That was absolutely brilliant because you also needed a magic potion, so to say, to complete the blend for this, right? And that was great. And you could, of course, use those T-shirts in the game itself, or you can, I don't know, just keep it as a collectible item because, again, that's Byron, right? And I don't know. Regardless of whether you like spooky stuff or not, I think we can all appreciate his
Of
how do I put
course.
it? He's stationed in the wax art community.
Of course, he's got a booth over the other way too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
all
as he
sorts of
should.
yeah, all sorts of game type activities. And we were just looking at the at this, so like you can. This is a screenshot, but if you were in here, you can click on these to learn more about them and stuff. How does the clans work? The clan is like a group of people, right? How do they work together?
Yeah, exactly. So the primary goal of the clan is to help each other reduce the dungeon run times, right? So whenever you feel like, oh, your run is taking too long, or you clicked on a 6 hours run by accident, right? That happens. You can always request your clan members' help, and they can, yeah, answer the call, so to say, and help you reduce the dungeon runtime by at least a little bit, right? If the clan is full, that, to my knowledge, if I'm not mistaken, but I can be. Um, right now, clans can contain up to 15 people, I think. And if your clan is like fully packed, right? If it rakes a lot of good karma, because we also have the karma clan leaderboards, then it can be a really, really substantial aid to you with everything that you want to do in the dungeon, essentially. This is also one of the areas of the game where we want to expand onto that, right? But I feel like Dungeon Worlds, once it's going to come to its full fruition, would be the better place for that, where you could explore some dungeons together, right? Or you can basically exchange equipment between the clan members, without any friction within the game. Lots of things that we want to do and can do with clans for more. Right now, the primary kind of activity there is helping each other, yeah, to maximize their time in the dungeons, so to say.
Yeah, so it's when you're in a clan, like here, Alex Droy says each help from a clan member reduces your run timer with 1% for
Yeah,
each member helping. So the people
exactly.
in your clan, you're reducing your time that the wombat is out in the dungeon, which means you're grabbing what he brought back and you can send him out again sooner. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So it actually is really powerful because we have some of super hardcore players doing 5 minute runs, right? Because how do I explain this in a non-convoluted way? Essentially, shorter runs give you more points, not per se, but within the same kind of amount of hour. As in, we have the full 24 hours dungeon run, right? But if you take 4 6 hours runs, which are the same 24 hours time together, you will get more contribution for that. Right now, that reduce that to 5 minutes, and you get, I think, 7.2 times points as you would do with a single dungeon run, which of course is hard because 24 times 12, that's a lot of runs, right? So a lot of folks who do not want to bot the game, essentially, or spend their every living and breathing moment on their phone, for them, clan help would be an outstanding aid to kind of cut those already short runs to a little bit shorter of a time span and yield the same kind of juicy input. So yeah. We're also speaking of the hardcore players. Atlas Doors also has input about getting Wombats and the games from Womplay. I think we can get to this a little bit later. And yes, Ranman also is right. We have another feature in the game that's called Well of Wealth. You don't need any extras per se to access it, right? It's just that you have this cute little frog that goes down, down, down the well, and collects extra rewards. It could be materials, could be item packs, could be anything else really. But if you do want to get a little bit more extra items, also better items, you can also do that with a season pass that unlocks the frozen part of the well, so to say. So yeah, lots of things to do. Maybe not necessarily, how to put it, the most yeah, intellectually straining ones, as in it's not going to be a super busy Overwatch deathmatch, but it is fun. People like it. People like that they can use a lot of their NFTs and gain even more out of that.
Hmm.
And
People
that's
seek out NFT. People discover collections because of it. Because yeah, there's
yeah.
tools that will list the mining power. MP is your mining power, and all these
Hmm.
templates have
That's
different
right.
variations. And there's different tools that you can search what all's there, even the ones that you have never heard of, with links to their market. So sometimes uh, I'll notice Consumer Break and NFTOPIA, like somebody will buy the same template, that like a really cheap one, but they'll buy
Yeah.
like 15 of them, and it's like, why did they all get that one? Oh, well, for Wombat, because they got it from the template's link, and they just saw all the ones on the market for that template. Even though like we might have 50 different promos, why are they all getting that promo? Oh, because they clicked the link and they got it. So that's really, I think that's really neat. Like that people outside of your collection that don't even know what you do at all, they might just buy them from the market or the drops for Wombat. They see that
And they
value in it,
might get hooked in, right? Because
and
I
they,
mean, Wax
exactly, and
has no. Yeah.
exactly. Then they might, if they like what they see, then they might tune in. So it can be a marketing type thing that way. Speaking of that, you
Yep.
also have the sidekicks. So tell us about how that works. And I haven't submitted one yet, but how does that work?
Okay, so sidekicks, they are basically designated helpers, right? They only work with NFTs for that specific collection. So if we were to have a consumer break sidekick, right, it would only boost the mining power of consumer break
Oh,
NFTs,
okay.
nothing else. Yeah. So in terms of, again, if we're talking about kind of RPG terms, imagine a huge, I don't know, character sheet, right? And you choose of, they're not forever bound, by the way. You can change sidekicks depending on your mood or how the mining powers change, right? um, and you basically bet bigger with one particular sidekick on your collection. This could be to either boost, something that's already pretty powerful, right, and gain advantage with that, or if you feel like your kind of lineup of hidden loot is more or less well balanced, but there is a collection that could use just a little bit of a jump start, right? Sidekicks are pretty good for that. They have a 20% boost on the mining power. So, yeah, there's
Awesome.
that.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw some pretty cool arts from some friends that submitted one. And I wanted to, but I ain't got to yet. But that's all. You got so many things going on, which makes sense why we always see Wombat at the top of places, and bot, I guess,
Fingers crossed.
bot atomic or whatever. Can you tell us about that partnership and how, not necessarily how it came about, but what happens now with it? Like, because you're able to earn Wombat token for, right.
Yeah,
What else? Like
exactly.
how? Just a little bit about that.
Yeah, of course. So just to give a little bit of a background info to
Mm-hmm.
those who do not, understandably so, maybe keep up with the corporate news and developments. Um, our parent company essentially acquired Atomic Hub as well, so we're like in the same suite of products, suppose you could say. And yeah, the first step to bring about more synergies together between the two products was introducing Wombat token rewards to Atomic Hub for trading. So, for instance, if you trade any NFT on Atomic Hub, so if you buy it on Atomic Hub and the seller puts it out on Atomic Hub, and vice versa, of course, you can get Wombat token rewards for this daily. Claim them also daily, or just let them sit, because maybe, I don't know, the bull run is upon us, right? And the cool part of that is we will also part of those market fees that we collect from Atomic Hub will be used to buy back and burn the token. So your rewards for NFT trading by default are going to be deflationary. What other kind of points of exploration we want to do? We just, to be very, very clear, right? Because of our gaming focus per se, that doesn't mean that we're going to turn Atomic Hub into a Steam marketplace, right? It's not. We're not. We don't want to discriminate against art projects or charity projects or anything else that doesn't have anything to do with games, right? But we do also hope through our kind of reach in the gaming industry, both the Web3 section of it and the mainstream, to also bring about more projects to the Atomic Hub Launchpad, right? So that is also the plan. And yeah, generally speaking, I feel it's always a good kind of mix and match when you have all the tools for essentially trading and entertainment, right? With Atomic Hub already being on Immutable X as well, us coming there soon in full force. We're just slowly expanding our presence across blockchains, and this is basically this singular vector where we want to go with both Atomic Hub and Wombat.
Awesome.
If,
Yeah, that's exciting,
hopefully.
ambitious, and I think people really like that you added the utility on Atomic Hub market trading, and you're able to earn Wombat for it. So that's great. Also, you have weekly AMAs. The big man himself, right? Adrian gets
Yeah,
on
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
does something like this every single week on stream. A lot of times longer than an hour, so you could go there
Yeah.
and he dives into. I've watched a few, so he dives into the inner details of how things go, and you can ask him all the tech type stuff or anything that's beyond noob. And
Exactly.
he seems to answer everything that gets put in the chat too, whether it's super short or long. So that's great. I love that
He
from
tries to, yeah.
founders, especially a big project like this. Like, the founders are super busy, super busy, but he's able to do that once a week. That really is helpful for community.
I mean, Adrian really does love interacting with the Wombat fam, as we call them, and now with the Atomic Hub um, community as well, right? To the point where it got a little bit, how do I put it? Not necessarily counterproductive, but a few things that people expressed hit a little bit closer to home. But we do keep the Monday Tavern, especially now that Pedro, the product manager from Atomic Hub, is joining him every Monday, right? So it's a great opportunity to inquire about both what Wombat is doing, what Atomic Hub is doing, what's yeah what's
Awesome.
kind of the word on the street, or you can also try to get the latest scoop out of Adrian before we publicly reveal anything, but you will need a very high persuasion stat for this, so to say. The man is entertaining, but tight-lipped where he needs to be. That's for sure.
Hey, do what needs to be done. Randman asks, how will the
Yeah.
new Polygon Tree NFTs work?
Oh yeah, that's another thing that we are dropping on Monday. So we have always been the curious folk, I guess you could say, and I'm really afraid that this is going to one day lead us to this kind of a Jurassic Park scenario. The fact that you can doesn't mean you should, sort of a thing. But we did that, so we will be creating um, two collections on Polygon. The drop itself is for the tree seeds, and then the seed owners will be airdropped their cute little tree saplings. And the way this works is that um, well, not every time, basically, whenever the tree NFT, the tree, not the seed, is traded, depending on its trade volume, the tree gets XP. And naturally, the more XP it gets, the higher level it kind of moves on to. Visually, this translates into an evolving artwork. So it goes all the way from a tiny sapling at level 1 to a huge mystical tree at level 100. And I think what the coolest part of it is, like when you buy this kind of an NFT from the secondary market, you don't necessarily know what you get because it might evolve, right? Imagine it's like finding a, I don't know, a Pokeball. You crack it open for the first time and you expect a tiny little, I don't know, Eevee, and then bam, it's yeah, it's one of its evolutions. All of a sudden, you're like, what? So that's kind of the gist of it.
Nice. Let's
Yeah.
here. Quick reminder: we have 7 minutes on this giveaway. Y'all go ahead and enter that bad boy. Okay.
Yeah, please do
Or announce
because
them. Announce them here right when it's over. It's 7 minutes. You got 3 dungeon packs and 2 common pins.
yep, exactly. I mean, I've been raving about all of the ways how you can get free NFTs in Dungeon Master and whatnot. Well, this is one of the ways. Take part in the giveaway.
That's right. If you watch
Exactly.
consumer break streams or you visit NFTOPIA, you know that there's lots and lots of those from different places. Uh,
Yeah.
before we wrap up, you mentioned the world, dungeon worlds. Can you give us a
Yeah.
little breakdown of what it's going to be? I know it's like preliminary, right? But you had a
Early
land sale
access,
already.
as the main industry calls it.
Okay, early access.
Exactly. Dungeon Worlds is essentially going to be our attempt at, well,
Giving it to somebody else,
dungeon.
or the
You know
world
exactly.
itself. Yeah.
Uh, Dungeon masters, right? By the initial design, are limited to their one domain, right? And they're also limited to the kind of rules that we are setting in the current base game as it is, right? That includes mining power. That includes, well, not set by us, but by the community, which collections go in and whatnot, stuff like that. We want to get rid of this, essentially. And with Dungeon Worlds, how it's going to happen is that we have those 10,000 land plots, right? Owners of these land plots will be able to set up their own dungeons. That means their own mining power rules, their own sets of collections, their own activities, own clan systems, and whatnot. So everything is kind of given off onto these people's hands. The core game will remain as one of like we're still debating the name, whether it should be the mother dungeon or
The mother dungeon. I like
the
it.
mother dungeon. Yeah, exactly. So if you have a fantastic name, feel free to drop it in the in the in the replies to our Twitter thread. We just posted a reminder a while ago that we're going to be at NFTOPIA, right? So let me just drop it in the zone chat because yeah, those who came deserve to jump on it the best. If you can come up with a cool nickname for the mother dungeon, then we'll be more than happy to send you a ETA pack or a promo pack or a starter pack, depending on kind of what your relationship with Dungeon Master is. Yeah, feel free to do that. But yeah, long story short, it doesn't mean that only, of course, the landowners will be able to do anything in the game, right? The rest of the players are free, very much free, to explore any and every dungeon in
Yeah, gotcha. It's
existence across
actually
this map.
really exciting. I know it's a big thing, but like, so the landowners are like, they become Wombat essentially for their world because they're choosing
Yeah,
what goes on in there. They're choosing the mining power. So, and then as a player, you're gonna choose which world you want to go play in.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. And I feel like this is yet going to be a great kind of tool for community building around your dungeon, right? Because you'll be able to set, as I said, your own mining power rules and rewards as well on top of everything, right? So there's like a lot of room of what
mm-hmm,
one will be able to do here. Well, once it's fully ready. For the time being, we do have the training, as I said, right, with the Mortal Kombat inspired senseis. We have hugely requested, and we're working very hard to bring it live. We have the breeding, because your wombats will essentially age and retire, right? So you will need to kind of keep the adventuring dynasty going with them. And they will also have all sorts of different attributes, right? The strength, intelligence, speed. So depending on, yeah, like how you pair the Wombat adventures, you may come up with the ultimate dungeoneer at the end of it. And the retired wombats, they can also remain to train your new characters, the new generation. So really, it's my mind is kind of all over the place about Dungeon Worlds, to be honest, because this is by far probably the biggest venture that we've gotten down to ever with anything we do. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure on us regarding this, right? Because it's it will infinitely improve the quality of life. It will definitely change the game itself. But
mm-hmm.
because it's so big, it also requires a lot of time to work on it, sadly.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome though. You guys are working hard and really love that in Wax. A nice pillar project with lots of stuff going on. We covered a lot of it here. I think we covered most all your stuff in a very surface fashion. If anybody's new to it now, you know a little more. Last call for questions. Go throw them in the chats. But if you're piques your interest, dive into their Discord and the actual app and see if it's for you. Start collecting. You probably are, if you're a wax collector, you probably already have a lot of NFTs at stake.
Exactly.
So you can pop
Exactly.
in and already
So
play with your NFTs from other collections, which is neat.
yeah,
Especially if you're just holding.
absolutely.
You know, you mentioned when you stake, it leaves your wallet, but if you're holding anyway, if you have a whole bunch of that you're just collecting, then you can do that. They leave your wallet, but they come back if you unstake. They're still yours. It's just it means you can't sell them or anything unless you unstake. That's all. That's all that means. But yeah, we thank you. Yeah, thank you, Olga, for coming in. Thanks for getting the
Thanks.
booth here.
Thanks for
It's
having
awesome.
me. Yeah, no, I hope that everybody's been having a lot of fun. And I mean, it's not as much as a request and or like question, but I do remember Atlas Drawers asking me about earning Wombats and getting NFTs. Yeah, that's the part where for Web3 games and for mainstream games like the ones that I mentioned, you can also get points for in-game achievements, right? And get rewards for those every week as the crypto you're choosing, or if you're very, very lucky and very, very persistent, an NFT straight away for an in-game achievement. So there's that.
Awesome, awesome. We have a couple winners here. Thanks for entering, and congrats.
Awesome,
For the common pin goes to Random Man. Congrats, Random Man. And then also
Redman.
CPAX.wham. Congrats. And then we have the
Sweet.
Wombat promo pack. That's going to Rexinator, LFCE4.wham, and BKZRS.wham. Congrats. And we're going to.
Nice. You folks are absolute legends. Redman, looking at your amazing cowboy outfit is a reward in its own, I think. I
Indeed.
feel like the winner here. Look at all those
Radman
fashionable
is
folks.
somebody that came to Wax with me. He used to play Consumer Break prior to us getting here, and then we learned it together. So I'm really happy Randman became a huge collector and participant in streams and Wombat and all sorts of places. Shouts. That's awesome. Our next place
Amazing.
is Warsaken. It's across the way. We're gonna meander over there. But if anyone has more questions about Wombat, dive into the Discord, ask there. Watch the taverns on Monday with Adrian, and just get going. The community will help. You'll have clans and mobs over there that'll help you. So that's awesome. Thanks for answering some stuff and going over the stuff, Olga.
Of course, thank you. And thank you, everybody who stopped by. I mean, the booth is going to be here, right? Not going anywhere. And if you sign up on Dungeon Master today via this QR code, you will get a starter pack and some awesome goodies.
What?
Yes.
All right, let's head over to Warsaken. Now anyone can
All
still hang
right.
out. Of course, this is your booth now. This is your dwelling area.
Of course.
But we're gonna go ahead and Warsaken AMA. What?
Yay.